myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Look till we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
What up, what up, what up? Great rising, everybody. Hope y'all doing okay today. Got some really good things to talk about this morning. Welcome to Dave's Doghouse. Had some earlier difficulties, which is why I started just now. Was originally supposed to start at 10 a.m. Then, some things that came up. But hey, we here today. We here now. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I am live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and X. So make sure you like, share, subscribe on all platforms. Nobody is coming out of the doghouse from any episode, but we'll be having some new members and may even have a dishonorable and honorable mention. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, share it. Share this video. Someone you think may be interested in what I'm going to talk about today. So, we pretty much going to go ahead and get started. Again, welcome to Dave's Doghouse. Got some things to talk about. Let's visit baseball. I know baseball is just now really starting. Hasn't been too many games. It's 162 games in major leagues right now. But there's one team that sticks out that's really not playing well right now. And you might be thinking I'm talking about my favorite team, but I'm not. Not at this moment. But there is another team that wears socks that needs to be talked about, that I decided belongs in the doghouse. Chicago White Sox. Chicago White Sox right now look like the worst team in baseball. And I know they just signed Tommy Pham to a deal. But what else is there? What's going on in Chicago? The Bulls are looking good right now. Chicago Sky are doing fine. Chicago Blackhawks, I really don't know too much about what's going on with them. But Chicago White Sox are 3-15 on the season right now. 3-15. Their first win of the season came April 9th. Their third win just came yesterday with the doubleheader. So maybe if it wasn't a doubleheader, they may not win that game. They're not looking good right now. They are last in the NL Central right now. And some people may have guessed that this was going to happen, but it looks bad early. I'm not sure what's to come of this team. I'm not sure what to expect from them. What's necessarily going to happen for them. But there's some things that definitely needs to change. And got some baseball news as well. Paul Skeens is not expected to make his Pirates debut on Friday. So you got that. But man, Chicago White Sox gotta they they gotta find something. I'm not sure what it is that they need to do because they're 2-9 at home and 1-6 on the road. So no matter where they go, it's just not looking good for them right now. So Chicago, I'm not. Maybe you need to look for some trades somewhere. Try to get some draft picks or something to try to get some better prospects. Build a farm. To have a good farming to have more more young guys come out and help out. But you guys are not looking good at this moment. Not looking good, White Sox. Now, look, you're in the division with the Detroit Tigers. I consider this one of the worst divisions in baseball, but that doesn't mean that everyone's just going to be terrible. You have an opportunity to win just like everyone else every single season, and right now you're not looking good. Through the first 18 games, you're 3-15. So 3-15 is the time I used to get out of school. So it seems like y'all might be. Sounds like y'all might need to get out of baseball for a little bit and maybe go to the minors and just play there. But not looking good right now. So do whatever you need to do to get better. But as far as I know right now, Chicago White Sox, you are the newest member to the doghouse. So welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. All right, this next up, I'm going to the UFC now. UFC 300 was just this Saturday, so we had some really good, spectacular performances coming up. Even the prelims were actually pretty good. Max Holloway, Alex Pereira. We had Justin Gave. There was some really good action going on. But this one guy was feeling himself a little bit too much. And I know, like I said, he had his title taken away due to injury. He came back, starting to look good, and then he just started going out the mouth. Alex, yeah, I'm talking about Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill pretty much said that Alex wasn't on his level. Well, you know what, Jamal? You're right. He's not on your level. He's not even close because he's above it. He hasn't fought that much in the UFC, and he dominated that fight. You got knocked out TKO in the first round. First round. I don't. Now look, I understand that there needs to be some kind of entertainment when it comes to the face-off and everything building up to the fight. But you also can be honest too. You're not on his level. You're not as good as the fighter as he is. I'm not as good as far as either one of you. But, this is just my opinion. There are levels. And clearly, even though he hasn't been in the UFC that long, he has been dominating. We all know his fight against Israel Adesanya. They pretty much tied because they fought twice. And, Israel got his revenge in the last time. But we all know what this guy is capable of. And you seem to pretty much, your ego got in the way. Your ego got in the way of this fight, and you pretty much lost out on it. You said that you was going to beat him in the ring, and even when he came out, you was, saying you couldn't wait for them to close the cage. Well, when they closed the cage, your eyes got closed right after that because you couldn't do anything with him in the octagon. So you got beat. You got beat, Jamal. So Jamal, just pick your things up, figure something out to try to do a little bit better, and come back and you still got an opportunity to get the title back. But got to get back to the drawing board. You got knocked out in the first round. Now you got to figure out what's going to happen. So, Jamal Hill, you know what you got to do. Go on ahead and get your snacks or whatever you need, because you might be a little hungry for a little bit. So, Jamal Hill, welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. And all right, now I think this one might actually be on your done, son. So, Tomo, if you're listening, if you're watching, I got a real good candidate for you, even though he's going to be in the doghouse. So we know that there's been a lot of things going on in sports where betting has become legal, no matter where you go. I believe now you can start doing parlays in DC, which is pretty good. Or it's about to be passed. I'm not sure if it's actually. I haven't done any parlays in about 2 years. So if there is a rule or a law stating that you can't do something because you're in that sport, I believe it's best you stay away from doing that. But this guy apparently thought that he was going to strike gold. But little does he know, or in case he didn't know, that there have been other people in his situation that have gotten suspended as well. He's in the NBA. He was in the NBA. He is now no longer there. Jonte Porter played for the Houston Rockets. Now you are officially banned from the NBA. Why are you banned from the NBA? Well, the NBA investigation found that you placed 13 bets. Oh, I'm sorry, Toronto Raptors, not Houston Rockets. So my apologies on that. So he played for the Toronto Raptors, not the Houston Rockets. You placed 13 bets while you with the Raptors. Smallest bet was $15. Your largest bet was $22,000, and all you made in these 13 bets, and you have a $2 million contract with the NBA. All you made was $21,965. You have risked millions of dollars, Jonte Porter, for $21,000. I'm gonna say this again. You risked millions of dollars in the NBA for $21,000. Teddy, you my guy, man. Teddy says threw his whole career away for $21K. Yes, he absolutely did. Whether you had a promising career or not, you could have been at least a solid bench player, made a couple million, 5 million. Who knows? But you risk all of that for $21,000? And then you were betting on yourself to play trash. This has to be one of the most idiotic things I've ever witnessed, especially in sports. You risk your entire life because you want to place bets. You might I don't know if this is possible, but you might even possibly be banned from ever making bets again. You pretty much put on a Pete Rose. You put on a Pete Rose in the NBA. Jonte Porter, I don't know what nice thing I can really say about you at this moment. I don't know you personally, so I'm not attacking you or you personally as a guy, but as someone as an NBA player, this is what you did to mess up your life. Ups. Teddy, thank you. Thank you, Mr. BWT. Pete was betting on his team to win. You was betting on y'all to lose. That's you literally were throwing games for 21. Man, look, I ain't spending no more time on you. Because this is utterly ridiculous. You deserve a spot in your own doghouse. You certainly do, because it's not that you bet money. It's that you bet money on your team, on you to play bad. You bet unders on yourself. Dude. Jonte Porter, I don't know, man. I don't know. You made a three. Teddy said there's a clip of him making a three and acting pissed off. Wow. You set yourself up for failure, man. And now you can never play in the NBA ever again. Ever. Maybe you can go somewhere where betting is not allowed and play basketball. I don't know. Maybe you can go overseas. Canada. Somewhere. I don't know. But Jonte Porter. You, my guy, are the newest member to the doghouse. So welcome to the doghouse, Jonte Porter. My guy, you in the doghouse. Ridiculous. All right, next. Now it's time to talk about the dogs of the week. The dogs of the week. That's funny. They're gonna let him keep betting. He's making donations. That's funny. He definitely is making donations. He donated that $2 million for 21,000. Ridiculous. Well, that's what's going on right now. Now, as I said, we got to talk about the dogs of the week. Let's talk about the WNBA real quick, because I know that there's a team in the WNBA that had 3 first-round picks, and I feel like they knocked them all out. And I know the WNBA hasn't started, not just yet, but either way, this team did all the right things in this draft for me. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up. And I don't even think y'all should be surprised that they're here, because I feel like I said, everything that they did made sense. The Chicago Sky. They had 3 first-round picks. And this is who they drafted. First, they drafted Camila out of South Carolina, who just won the national championship. Best player on the team, they just drafted. Okay, got her first at number 3. Then, at 7, they drafted Angel Reese. Y'all know about the Bayou Barbie up and down at LSU? She's thinking of other names now to see what may fit the Chicago, Chi-Town Reese, something like that. What's that two right there is good enough. Who's going to be able to stop them from getting boards? And Joe said it. Joe said it in the comments. Nobody getting rebounds on us. I don't see how they're going to be able to stop them. One thing that translates from the WNBA, from college to the pros, is rebounding. That's going to translate. And I'm telling you now, Angel Reese and Camila are going to dominate on the boards. You see my guy, my guy, Big O. He's a Chicago Sky fan. I didn't even name who else they drafted. They also got Brina Maxwell. 3 first-round picks, and that's what this is going to be a really, really good team. Really good team. And Tomo, I'm with you. Tomo. They don't want no smoke with the Mystics. Telling you right now, the Mystics, yeah, just watch. We going to a game, Tomo. We going to a game this year. Mystics, Chicago Sky, we going. Book it. Chicago Sky, though, did an awesome job in this draft. I am upset at the Mystics for folding and not picking Angel Reese, because she should be home. She should be here in DC. So, telling you right now, it's going to be an exciting WNBA season, and Chicago Sky is going to be one of the highlights of the season because of this draft. So, welcome to the Dogs, the Chicago Sky. All right. Now, who can? Hey, y'all are hilarious in the comments, man. All right. Now, look, who could possibly be next? Who is another dog? Well, I figured it was about time that I pretty much do a little bit more hockey talk. Now, I know we had a Pennsylvania battle last Friday between Brian Dawkins and Trey Polamalu. And hey, if you're not an all-star member or above, you need to become one now so you can go see what happened in that debate. All I got to say is shout out to Kev because he came prepared. That man came out swinging. He knew exactly what he was going to do in that debate. And hey, all I'm saying is make sure you come prepared. He definitely did. Whew. But this team in the NHL, they did a really good job this year. And yeah, Teddy, yes. Look, you're giving away some of my stuff right now because that's an honorable mention. So I'm not going to say what he said in the comments because then it's going to mess up my honorable mention. The Pittsburgh Penguins, y'all. The Pittsburgh Penguins. Hold up. Where's it at? So on March 23rd, they were 30, 30, and 9. So they were pretty much 500, even though they had 9 ties. I know. Maybe I messed up my own thing. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, so it was probably my fault. That is the Pirates logo. So I meant to talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins and the um but since we're here, I can still talk about the Pirates because I think the Pirates. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. Yep. 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 So Dave made a mistake. So to my producer, I apologize. I sent you the wrong name, which ended up being the wrong logo. So I apologize. So I dishonorably put myself in the doghouse. But this is I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins though. So I'm gonna finish what I was saying. So when it comes to the Pittsburgh Penguins, like I said, they were 30, 30, 30, and 9 on March 23rd. You guys want to know what their record is now? They are 38, 31, and 12. So since then, they've won 8 games, only lost 1, and had 3 ties since then. So 8, 1, and 3. That sounds like a team moving up, moving forward, doing really good things. We all know who their best player is, and that's Sidney Crosby. We got Carlson and Bemstrom. These guys are, making plays to be able to make some, you know, make some changes to further this hockey, to make a push in the playoffs and maybe even make a run. Let's see exactly what Pittsburgh's going to be able to do. I know the Capitals aren't necessarily doing everything that I would love for them to do, but they are the Penguins are pushing towards winning in the second half. And so far so good. Like I said, they're being led by Sidney Crosby, who has 42 goals this season. That's keeping their playoff hopes alive. Their very next game. Let's see. I had it up. But the last game, they lost their last game on Wednesday against the Islanders. So the Penguins, been having a pretty good season. Let's see what happens towards the playoffs or anything. But shout out to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Welcome to the Dogs. All right, now this one right here ain't no mistakes on this one. This one I definitely wanted to talk about this because he's done this twice in his career now. Let me go to my notes. So I want y'all to see if you can figure out who I'm talking about. He was an assistant GM for the San Antonio Spurs from 2000 to 2007. He is the sole reason why Tony Parker became a San Antonio Spur. He served as an assistant GM under Buford and Popovich. This was his signature moment. He's the one that put together a highlight reel of Tony Parker's play, which influenced the bosses to bring him back for a second look. He was the last pick in the first round for the San Antonio Spurs, Tony Parker. Also, he was the boss's choice. The owner of the Seattle Supersonics, who, Clay Bennett, was a partner with the Spurs, interviewed this guy by himself. And we all know about one mistake that a lot of people say that he made, but no one knew that the money was going to jump by 60% from $58 million to $94 million 4 years after they traded this player. Sam Presti, the general manager for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it's without any question he should be the executive of the year. This is the youngest team in NBA history to be the number one seed in the Western Conference. 3 weeks after Sam Presti got his job at OKC, he drafted Kevin Durant in 2007. The very next year, he drafted UCLA's Russell Westbrook, 4th overall. Then in 2009, he drafted James Harden, number 3. That trio, we know what that trio did. That trio took the OKC to the finals in 2012. KD earned an MVP under Sam Presti, so did Russell Westbrook. Now, the trade I was speaking of was when James Harden was let go. He had to go to Houston, but no one knew that no one could have predicted that the money was going to go from $58 million to $94 million 4 years after James Harden left. Okay, look, Teddy, you're biased, so I understand what you're going to say about that. But I think everyone expected you guys to be the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. I think that was we knew what you guys were capable of. So this is a little different. It's more about it's different from meeting expectations and exceeding expectations. So yes, Brad Stevens and his moves might have something to say about that executive of the year, maybe, but I think it belongs to Sam Presti. Not only did that, yes, the moves are good. Don't get me wrong. Sam Presti also did this. 15 picks, first round picks from 2020 up until 2026. 2 in 2020, 2 in 2021, 2 in 2022, 2 in 2023, 3 in this year's draft coming up, 1 next year, and then 3 in 2026. He has led OKC to the finals. He's a 3-time champion, of course, as an assistant GM with the San Antonio Spurs. And since 2007, he's been when he was the GM for the Seattle Supersonics that now became the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's helped this team go from lottery pick to being the best team in the West because he's made moves. Some people had called him overrated. We didn't know if, getting all these draft picks will work out. Well, hey, it shows that it worked out. To be able to get all these draft picks, you get Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and a trade that involved Paul George, along with a lot of first-round picks. You also gave away some picks with Russell Westbrook going to the Wizards. You also got moves from James Harden. Ended up getting Chet Holmgren. You got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You got Josh Giddey. You got players on this team that are good. And your best player on the team is now in the MVP conversation. So I think just because of all of that, plus all the moves that he's made, no one expected the Oklahoma City Thunder to be the number 1 seed in the West, let alone be a top 3 seed in the West. Sam Presti, to me, is the executive of the year. So Sam Presti, welcome to the Dogs. Now, we go over to football, to soccer. And one of these players one of the top scorers in soccer right now. One of the top scorers in the UCL. He's the second best scorer right now, second leading scorer right now. First player with 10 goals and assists in the UCL this season. Top scorer in the UCL, Europe, and Bundesliga. Bundesliga. I could be saying it wrong. Look, charge it to my head and my heart. Harry Kane. You see that? Ooh, it's chill. It's cold. You know, Ice Tray? Call him Ice Kane. Harry Kane is now the outright leading goal scorer against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium since it opened in 2006. He has 6 goals in that stadium. That's more than anybody else. 8. He has scored 15 goals against Arsenal in his career. 8 of them have come from the penalty spot, which is the most penalties any player has scored against a single Premier League club since the start of 2014-2015. Harry Kane, as I said, is the second leading scorer in the league right now with 39. Because of his play, Arsenal conceded multiple goals for the first time in 14 matches. Harry Kane came out with a goal to dominate Arsenal. So he did everything that he was supposed to do to be able to win and lead his team to victory. Harry Kane, one of the best goal scorers in the game. Like I said, he not only has goals, he's definitely a facilitator as well. First player in the UCL this season with 10 goals and assists. So I believe he's doing everything that he needs to do to win, to continue to lead this team. So Harry Kane, welcome to the Dogs. Now, to my favorite player in soccer. I think I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Best player in PSG right now. Has 163 goals in the last 4 seasons. We all saw what he did in the World Cup, where his team ended up losing, but it wasn't because of him. He had 3 goals, and I've talked about him before on the Doghouse, but this was before I made it into my own show instead of just a segment. My favorite player in soccer right now is Kylian Mbappe. 41 goals in 42 games this season. Kylian Mbappe. He is the first to score 40 goals in Europe's top 5 leagues this season. Over the last 4 seasons, he has 163 goals, which is about 41 goals per season. On Tuesday, PSG's win over Barcelona was the 10th multi-goal game in the Champions League for Kylian Mbappe. That's the 6th most of any player since 2016-2017. The players ahead of him are Erling Haaland, who I've talked about in the show before, Karim Benzema, one of the best players in soccer, Lionel Messi, we all know who Messi is, Cristiano Ronaldo, I've talked about him before on my show, and Robert Lewandowski. Kylian Mbappe is younger than all of those guys. He, to me, is the best player in the Champions League right now. So Kylian Mbappe, keep dominating, my guy. Glad to talk about you again. Welcome to the Dogs. All right. And now, last and not least, for the Dogs. As I stated before, we watched UFC 300 this past Saturday. And it was one of the most exciting things to see. And as I say it, and I'll say it again, I know that there's a dispute over UFC and boxing. No one in boxing wants to get in the octagon with anyone in the UFC because it's a totally different animal. You're not just using your hands. You're not just using your fists, not just using your boxing gloves. You use the entire arsenal of your body other than, like a headbutt. I still think that's still legal. But you can make somebody tap out. You can knock somebody out with your feet, your elbow. And this guy is one of my favorite UFC fighters, and I picked him in an upset. It was considered an upset. My guy, Max Blessed Holloway, Max Holloway, and that fight against Justin Gaethje was dominating the entire fight. Just about. Max Holloway, man, made me so excited to watch that fight. He's been in the UFC for 12 years and still putting on performances like that. 12 years, 12-year vet in the UFC and still going in there like that's a bad man, as Stephen A would say. He also has called out other champions in two different divisions because he has a case to be the top contender for both of those. So he's like, hey, I'm a BMF champ again. Now I want to get somebody else's belt. If you watch the performance you saw in the first round, he was dominating. Second round, he was dominated. Broke the guy's nose. Broke Justin Gaethje's nose. Justin Gaethje. Broke his nose. Then, as the fight continued on in the very last round, when the seconds started to dwindle down to where the fight was about to be over with, and Max Holloway already won the fight. The fight was already over. Already over. What he also did was tell him, meet me in the middle of the ring. Meet me here. Fight me right here. Let's throw some bows right now, and let's see who wins. The fight, like I said, the fight was already won by Max Holloway when he was the underwhelming. No, he was the overwhelming underdog. Met him in the ring, and you know what happened? While they were throwing bows in the middle of the ring, and he knocked him out with 4:58 left. 2 seconds before the round ended, knocked him out. To me, it was one of the most exciting knockouts I've ever witnessed, whether it was boxing or UFC or anything. Any combat, that's the most exciting knockout I've seen. I've never jumped up so much from one fight. I was so excited to see that because Max Holloway was one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. And he was awesome that night. Max Holloway, man, I'm super, super happy for you. Can't wait to see what you do. And I want to see if those two guys are going to accept your challenge. I got you. I got your back. I got your back, Max. So, Max Holloway, you are the featured dog of the week. So, welcome to the dogs, Max. That concludes the dogs and doghouse. So now, here comes the blues. You know, here comes the blues that comes with being a dishonorable mention. So I'm going back to baseball. As frustrating as this is for me, I have no choice but to do this. Because it's like what more do I really need to say about this team? Now I predicted this to be where we are. But this is pretty much who I'm going to talk about. Teddy, you in the comments, so you should probably know exactly who I'm about to do, who I'm about to talk about as a dishonorable mention. Anyone that's in the baseball chat knows exactly who I'm talking about. I'm a fan of this team, and right now we just do not look good. I understand injuries are piled up, but the Boston Red Sox are 10-9 on the season right now. And you know where we are? Last in the division. Am I surprised? Nope. So why are the Red Sox a dishonorable mention? Well, let's just say they started off 6-2. Started off 6-2 and then been 4-5, 4-7 since then. 4-7 since we started 6-2. Yeah, we got injuries. That's true. That's true. But were these injuries really that big of a difference? And let's talk about Trevor's story. Now, look, like I said, I'm a Red Sox fan, and I wanted them to be able to be good. You know, I wanted you to have a healthy season, Trevor. But let's be honest, y'all. He hasn't been healthy in the last few seasons. Were we really banking on that to happen? Were we? Like, come on. Let's not let's not let's not let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Yes, it's only 19 games in on the season. I get that. But either way. And the crazy thing is we've been favorites in these games. We're a favorite in this game. The over-under right now is minus 115 for us in this game against the Guardians. And would I be surprised if we lost? No, I would not be. I would not be surprised if we lost. So, Red Sox, I'm not sure what's on the agenda. But ownership said that we are all in to compete and to win. Well, doesn't look like that to me. Does not look like that to me. So after the Guardians, this is our last game as the Guardians today. We got the Pirates tomorrow, throughout the weekend. Then the Guardians again, then the Cubs, and then we start a series against the Giants. What's about to happen, y'all? So these are last place teams. Are we going to be the worst last place team? Just do me a favor and not be that. So, Boston Red Sox, you are the dishonorable mention of the week. Okay, now Teddy. Now I'm going to talk about the guy that you were talking about before, because I didn't need you trying to mess up my honorable mention. Can't be doing me like that, Teddy. Yeah, I was talking smack at that time, but I said, hey, at that moment we were, we looked good at that moment. But hey, y'all saw my predictions. No need to troll me. All right. Man. Man. This guy. Mm, 1 second, because I have got the wrong name that I saw. Yeah, I don't think you. Man, look, y'all, Jovan might be sick right now, but I told him this was happening. I told him this was happening. I told him that we were not going to be what he thought. What he thought, man. I don't know what he was thinking, but he was absolutely wrong when he said that we would be third place in the AL East. I said that was not going to happen, but for some reason he thought that it was possible. Um, Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 70 goals, 69 goals on the season. Austin Matthews has been one of the best centers in hockey right now. And he's also an alternate captain as well. So right now he has a $53 million contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Born in San Ramon, California. He wears number 34. He was limited to 62 games in 2017, 2018. But he finished with 63 points that year with 34 goals and 29 assists. And in that year, he helped them return to the playoffs. And now, with him recording 69 goals this year, he wins his third Rocket Richard Trophy. Austin Matthews, you have been awesome for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm excited for what's going to happen in these playoffs. I want to see where you guys end up. So, welcome to the honorable mention, Austin Matthews. Thank you all for watching my show today. That will be all for me. And I will see you guys next time. Tomorrow morning on the show. Peace. Thank you for watching all the way through and tuning all the way into the end. Thank you for enjoying Dave's Doghouse. I hope you had a great show. Make sure you like this video and hit the notification button so you get an alert whenever I go live again or have another video and another episode. And also, last but not least, hit that share button. If you enjoyed this and you think someone else will enjoy it, share it. And also, thank you again for, tuning into this episode. And I'll see you next time. My guy, you in the doghouse.